What's good, everybody? I'm artisanmc, fresh out the movie Spider-Man Across the Spider-verse. Like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. No banner up. $ artisanmc on Cash App and artisanmc on PayPal. So, folks can hear me. Let me get a 1 in the chat to know if you hear me. What up, Dr. T? It's late and I can't read that right now. It's late, my eyes don't focus right. Yeah, I just got out the theater too, Dr. T. Just walked out the theater, got in the car, like, God damn, do I even want to do a stream on this? It's like, hell, let motherfuckers know. So, Cross the Spider-Verse. I warn you ahead of time, it's longer than you would expect, but you may not feel it. You may not notice. What's up, Lewis? What's up, Smitty James? What's good? What's up? Dr. T. Look, this shit was good. This was good. It was a lot in it. If you are a Spider-Man fan, you are a fan of the Spider-verse series, you won't be surprised, or you won't be disappointed, I should say. Shit. So, what do I want to say? Told you guys before, Spider-Man is my favorite superhero. Spider-Man has always been my favorite superhero since I was wearing my little red and blue robe that my mother got me and using my belt as the spider line, making it stick to the popcorn ceiling. Okay? I go way the fuck back with Spider-Man and the JLA and all that shit. Right? Way back. And I always liked Spider-Man. Intrinsically, with Spider-Man, it was about anybody could be Spider-Man. And that was the genius of Stan Lee in creating that character to where, because he has a mask on, anybody can see themselves in that role. Anybody can find a hero within them and step up to the challenge. Change circumstance into opportunity to win the day. Spider-Man always had more heart to me. It's basically, he always had more heart. Because no matter how beat up, how much his normal life might have sucked, he went out there and always did the best he could. As Spider-Man. Now, excuse me. In this movie, I believe Miles Morales kind of lives up to that. Now, I could say that some of what he does is self-serving. It's not a knock because it's about his story. But what is endearing about it is that Miles is trying to tell his story. That he is basically setting himself apart and defining himself as all Black men, young or old, have to grow up and define themselves, regardless of what everybody role is. It is on you to define yourself and tell them this is who the fuck I am. Now, the question I keep having going through my mind right now is, why the fuck can Sony get so much of this Marvel shit right? And Marvel itself, MCU itself, not get it right? Like, God damn, dude. Look, Spider-Verse is one of my favorite runs of Spider-Man. Okay? I really love the Spider-Verse. Really love the original Spider-Verse. I really did. It was good for Peter. It was good for Miles. It was good for Justin Cruz and some of the other Spider people. It was good for all of them. Okay? It was good for, excuse me, fans of the character who remembers all these iterations of Spider-Man. And what it did is brought all of them together in one book. And you were entertained by it. Yeah, the same, mythos, ethos, whatever you would call it, pathos that you know of, how he got bit, how he lost his uncle, whatever. Each Spider-Man was a little bit different. Each Spider-Person was a little bit different. But that internal pain is what defined them all. That made it all the more interesting to why this person would still go out there and want to fight these criminals and villains that just wanted to beat the hell out of them. It gave a lot of respect. I believe they capture in this movie what Spider-Verse was to me in the comic, which was a big smattering of Spider people. You get to see them from different places. You get to learn a little bit about their stories. Like, damn, this is interesting. Same trauma. And what binds all of them together. Now, one of the things that this movie did that I really look sideways at Kevin Feige and MCU right now is, why the fuck can Sony, motherfucker, Sony working with you tie up all this multiverse shit better than you can? What in the fuck? That's something I could actually be pissed about. Because one of the things that happened in the original Spider-Verse comic was that there was a character called the Master Weaver, right? And it sat on the web of, not Destiny, basically the web of the multiverse, everything being interconnected, right? And what you got out of Spider-Verse was finding out that why these things were happening is because in the Marvel comic book universe, reality had been crossed and stretched and fucked around so much, it wore thin. And the Spider-Verse led right out into Secret Wars, right? That the universe just finally fucking snapped. Multiverse and everything just finally snapped. All the machinations people were doing, Spider-Man with the Spider-Verse stuff, Doctor Doom with the time platform, and Molecule Man, all that shit finally was too much, and fucking universe snapped. Broke the shit. Now, there was two separate books that kind of got into that. Why the hell did they make that shit sound more cohesive in one Sony movie? One Sony movie. They made it sound more cohesive. Put those two events together and say, hey, shit you were doing fucking up the multiverse. Plain and simple. You saved. You didn't save shit. You broke it. There's other people out here trying to fix this shit you broke. It's serious. Loving that. Loving it. Now maybe the regular moviegoer won't get that shit. I totally got it. On board, liked it. Sweet. Thank you. But damn, it was good. And it's not, I feel like I shouldn't say it was good because it seems like it's leading, because there was a lot of stuff in it. Females like this, it was deep and it was long. But I didn't feel like I wasted any time with that shit, because where it left off was like, shit. This is animated, right? What the fuck? Like, what is Amy Pascal over there drinking on? This bitch shows she got some love for Spider-Man. I'm like, damn, I might have to look at Amy a little bit different now. Like, shit, maybe not the Kathleen Kennedy of Sony. Maybe you actually do care about your IPs and want them to thrive. This motherfucker threw not even everything. They threw a lot into this one. A lot. And there's still more to come. Like, it's people missing from this one. It's people, significant people missing from this one. Like, oh shit. I mean, I had some for real emotional states. I was in there in the beginning of the movie taking my notes, like, too much dwelling on Gwen. Okay, I guess this is gonna be Gwen's movie. So I totally forgot to take fucking notes. I was into the story, like, oh goddamn, but I gotta write a note. Cause I was glued to the goddamn screen like I was webbed to it. What the fuck? The visuals, the word that comes to mind that I love is hyperkinetic. Hyperkinetic. Visuals look awesome. They up their game on the animation and the backgrounds. There's a lot of stuff going on, not just with the characters in frame, but in the background as well, with the coloring, how it changes, to shift mood, to shift tempo, so you understand what's going on with the characters. It's a lot of good, heartfelt stories in it about parents, about being yourself, about being fucking honest. I'm like, I was feeling it. Gwen's story was good. Miles' story was good. Shit, even Miguel, for an instant, you feel Miguel's shit. I'm like, damn, bruh. Like, Mickey, my nigga. Like, Mickey, what? Oh my God, bro, what did you do? Oh my. Look, I was watching this to see Spider-Man 2099. Y'all know me. I love Spider-Man 2099 too. Yellow hair, my dude, right? I was kind of pissed that they made him the villain of this, right? In a sense. In a sense, he's the villain of this, right? Because I'm a bit, protective. Like, hey, I like Miguel. Miguel's an asshole, but I like Miguel. Miguel got smoked, right? Miguel looked like an asshole in this one, but that's Miguel. That's Miguel. That's fine. I'm kind of fine with it, but I'm pissed off at the same time. It's just what it is. But damn, his part of his story was, oh my goodness. Bro. Look, I'll tell you this. He could be sitting somewhere with He Who Remains, having a drink, talking about the struggle. shepherding a multiverse, nigga. Fucking hell. Miles, I like the new costume a bit. The humor in it was good, and it wasn't stupid. Surprises in it were amazing. Cameos in it were fucking amazing. And I'm talking about Spider-Man. like, oh my God, that totally fucking worked. Like, dude. There's one moment in there where I was clapping in the movie by myself, lonesome, solo clapping. Like, oh hell yeah, that shit was good. Like I said, it was just good. And the music, nigga. The opening intro had me tapping my foot, and it was some low rhythm drums and shit like that. And I was like, damn, this is actually good. What the fuck? It's just the intro. I don't know about y'all, but that last Into the Spider-Verse soundtrack, I bought that shit. I listened to that shit all the way through a few times. That was one of the better soundtracks that came out. Black Panther, Into the Spider-Verse. Good soundtrack you can just listen to over and over again. On repeat. This is on the list too. Because there's one song that they play at the end during the initial credits that Google wasn't finding. Well, I need to find that damn song. I need to find that song. That shit was it. So look, they did their damn job. And that animation team over at Sony, they were stepping it up because things move fast, web slinging and stuff like that looks awesome. Everything is very colorful, but they switched up their style a little bit too from what they did in the first one. Miles is a little older, he's a little taller. The voice acting sounds a bit different because I think it's the same actor. If it's the same actor, that was a genius move because he's grown up with the character. So his voice has changed, and the character's voice has changed a little bit. But understanding how they're playing it, this is coming of age, in a sense, for Miles. Good. Good. So many flavors in this shit, too. Man. For me, it was a good story with the parents. In there, I'm not trying to spoil it, I'm just giving you like highlights. Good parental stories there. Good owning up to what you have to do. Owning who you are. Bro, there was a lot in it. Thank you for the super chat. Can't read it right now. Hooray for the plate. Go Professor. Go Professor. Appreciate you, Go Professor, for supporting the stream. But I'll just say this so I can end it quick now to get home and get something to eat and get my ass to sleep. Go see it before it's spoiled. I'm serious. Go see this before it gets spoiled. Don't watch any goddamn reviews. I'm serious. Don't watch any reviews. Just go see it tomorrow. Now, my theater wasn't sold out, and it was a 7:30 show. That's really fishy to me, right? But if what I think is happening, it goes into that shit I was telling you guys about since Black Adam. It always involves the lead. Who's the lead? I'm gonna sit on it till Sunday and let's see what we see. But you don't want any of this actually spoiled. You really don't. There's so much in there you need to be paying attention to and looking at and stuff like that. If you haven't read a Spider-Man comic in the last 15 years, you'll want to go back and read some of this shit to see what else is in there. So who all these different spider people that they show are. What's their story? Because one of them is in there, and I'll tell you this is not a spoiler. If you read Spider-Man comic books, you know one of the ones that's in there comes out of a ship. He got a red suit on, and his suit crosses across the front, buttons down like an old lab coat. Okay, that ain't fucking Peter. Okay, that's not Peter Parker. It's somebody specific, but it's not Peter Parker. Okay, figure it the fuck out. Read a book. So I was happy to see that. Like I said, I don't like Miguel being the pseudo villain, but Oscar Isaac was killing it as Miguel O'Hara for me. He was. And the animation on him with the broad shoulders, I didn't like it when I saw the initial trailer, but in the movie, it actually works. It sets him apart. You see him as kind of being like, Miguel is like that fucking alpha spider in that bitch, which is one way for it to go. Which is one way for it to go. The other thing you get is that all the rest of the spider people ain't necessarily super smart like Peter or Miles or Miguel. They not. They're regular goddamn people. Spider powers. Every Spider-Man is not created equal. There is another cameo for that shit you saw in the MCU, which was genius to put it in there, but this is one of those things you have to catch if you do that idiot thing, which is listen. Listen to dialogue. Not just looking at the pretty pictures and explosions. And it does look beautiful. It does look beautiful. But the mix of animation styles, which they pulled from the comic, which is what I told you guys I really loved about the comic of the Spider-Verse comic, was that no matter where the Spider person came from, their art style, their coloring, and everything was consistent with the book they came out of. It was consistent with their book. So they were drawn in this book just like it was in their book. I thought that was amazing when I was reading on the page. Like, holy shit, that's actually cool as hell. They did that in this movie as well, which was amazing to me. There's hella cameos of spider people. Some of them you won't know unless you read Spider-Man comics, but you'll be interested once you see them to know what the hell is going on with that character. I need to know what's going on with that Spider-Verse. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy that shit. I'm not even pissed off about how long it was. I only thought about it like once about, damn, this is pretty fucking long. I didn't think about it, but I went into the theater at 7:30. I came out that bitch at 10 o'clock. Like, shit, that was long and deep. What did Pensive say? Did they show Warloon and his family hunting spiders? Rainfire, no. Here's the thing. Even the original Into the Spider-Verse movie was not a carbon copy of the comic. It left certain things out because Warloon and the Inheritors is complicated and kind of convoluted in the Spider. It's the reason for the Spider-Verse, but There's other ways to do it. And in the original movie, they did it differently. So that's just what it was. Hold on one second, you guys. All right, hold on. I got to get me something to eat because I've been sitting for a while and hadn't eaten anything. And I got to eat. Let's see what Pencil said. The movie was too much. Great as a comic book brought to life as a film that didn't even feel structured like a film. Well, that's interesting of you to say, Pencil. Did you actually read the comic? That great as a comic book brought to life. You'd have to read the original comic because as a movie, without spoiling it, because I don't do that over here, the structure was for the reason why the ending was the way it was. Okay. Original Spider-Verse comic quickly introduced you to a bunch of other spider people. Hold on one second. Quickly introduced you to a lot of other spider people, and not all their stories were nice. Okay. All right. So they introduced you to a lot of spider characters really quickly and didn't give you a lot of their backstories. Some of their backstories were not nice because not all of them end up being decent people, right? This is where Morloon and his family comes in, where they're going and snatching spider totems and stuff, or sucking the spider essence out of these things, right? It's a lot of complicated shit to get into, but once you get into the spider totems and all of the spider totem and that stuff, you get into J. Michael Straczynski's territory, and I know Marvel don't want to pay his ass for that shit. So the Spider-Verse story, the main concept that they took from the comic is that you have all these different versions of spider people, more accurately tied around Peter Parker. And they have a reason to all be together to where you can see all these different versions of Peter and how it works out in different dimensions with him, right? That's the main concept of the Spider-Verse, right? Putting the inheritors in there and all the rest of that shit gets really overly complicated, and I don't think it would make a good fucking movie. It would, because you would have had to introduce the inheritors a while ago. Okay, they did. then you'll want to know who are they and why are they. It gets too convoluted. You can do that in the comic where you got years to flesh out these fucking characters. You're not doing it in a 2-hour movie. Or 2 hours and change in this case. So no. Does it function like the Spider-Verse? Yes. Because the other spider characters are there. The key ones are there. There's a few that are missing right now, and I would love to see them show up. If you don't get the fuck off my ass. So the story that they told with the Spider-Verse, I like. It holds together a lot better. It's more, to me, it's more concise. But that's having read Spider-Verse comic. I didn't read Spider-Geddon because that was like going back to the well again. That was too much. That was way too much. They need to do that shit again, especially after they were doing individual character books and shit like that. You didn't need to keep going back there, motherfucker. But comics. You buy the shit, they're gonna make another one. Because they want to keep selling you comics. What up, Eon and Princessa? Lonzo. Salute, Lonzo. AMC, I love Miguel O'Hara. Hope the movie did him justice. It did his attitude a little bit of justice. Thing with Miguel is Miguel gets angry. Miguel was an asshole before he got spider powers. Okay. He could be really abrupt and mean to people. He's a genius, right? He was a genius in the way Bruce Banner was a genius. Like, I just know what I'm doing. Leave me the fuck alone. And something ended up fucked up. Ended up getting these spider powers. But he was always angry. Always. Now, Miguel being smart and brilliant is there. Miguel having a temper and flashing on motherfuckers was there. Because I can tell you in this movie, he got a lot of them motherfucking Spider-Men shook. They ain't fucking with his ass. They is not fucking with him like, I don't know, this motherfucker tripping. Like, oh shit, Miguel on that shit. He's Spanish Irish. Figure it the fuck out. So I like how they tried to keep his original comic book look. Day of the Dead costume. But jazzed it up a little bit, changed it up a little bit for their movie. That was fine. Towards the back, but when you're seeing spider people, it just like they kept getting to the same pattern, making spider people. The story tracks in the sense that Miles and Gwen felt a little lost and lonely because they had this experience to where they met all these other spider people that were like them. And then after that, they will shuffle back to their own dimension to just go on their lives by themselves. And Miles and Gwen kind of like each other. but they can't see each other. Now in the comics, when you get into all the Web Warrior stuff, they did gain the ability to kind of bounce back and forth and see each other a little bit. Which was fine. I don't give a shit about that. Like, I'm a black dude who date outside of his race. I don't have a problem with an interracial relationship. That's not, blowing my skirt up or anything like that, making me like, oh my God. It's not that big of a deal, man. Grow up. But there's a character in here that gains the ability to jump dimensions. And because he jumps dimensions, the reason he can jump dimensions is because of the shit they did in that first Into the Spider-Verse movie. It had effects. Okay? It had effects. And not all of them were good. Because it has effects, and this character can now jump between these dimensions, it is causing a problem for all dimensions. Somebody stepped up to try to take care of it, and the person who stepped up to try to take care of that and set shit right was Miguel O'Hara. And he pulled together a team of people to help him keep any more shit in the multiverse from going awry and causing what they call canon events, which destroys canon, which is fucking genius. That's funny as fuck. Because if you understand what they're talking about when you watch the movie, what a canon breaking event is, you'll know. Any comic fan know what that means. Like, when you breaking canon. Ask a Star Wars fan what a canon breaking event is. They'll tell you real clearly. Start with 2 letters. You think a follow-up is coming? Yes, Princessa. I'm just waiting to see how soon it comes. Because, look, Sony and Amy Pascal, they playing a good game of poker. I didn't know this movie was going to be like this. I just thought it was going to be that movie. Another run to the bank just so they can cash another check. No, they really did try to amp this up a bit. That shit just got real. And they're going to sell a shitload of merchandise off this movie. God damn. If you buy pop figures, you're going to break yourself. You buy pop figures, you about to break yourself. Because Sony going to be shaking your fucking pockets out. They get their mileage out this Spider-Man shit. They making Marvel look stupid. I'm serious. They making Marvel look dumb as fuck, dude. Now, what Beasley's talking about the B-dubs, here's the thing. MCU might be sleeping on using Miles and anything. Sony ain't. Sony gonna let Miles get his shine, and they gonna make all the money they can off that motherfucker. That's Marvel's fault. The MCU's fault. Fuck it up. I like Tom Holland. I do. They reset that Spider-Man a bit. Okay. Awesome. But the taste of this generation is Miles Morales, nigga. Like him or not. That's what this generation loves. And millennials love some fucking Miles. His black and Puerto Rican draws. They love him. Poppy. So Sony is gonna cash in on that shit. They don't have a problem putting them front and center of shit. And the stuff that they do put them front and center of makes money. So I'm a Spider-Man fan. I like Peter. I like Miles too. I like Miguel. Those are the three, right? But they really look. Think of it like this: you got a car. It's a hot car, Ferrari, whatever, right? You drive it, you got it. It's nice. Everybody recognizes it. Yeah, we got a nice ass car. Yeah, I worked it out, right? Your neighbors say, "Hey, man, can I borrow your car for a minute?" I said, "No, yeah, okay, yeah, I just want to drive around the block one time. Let's see. Okay, let me feel it. All right, cool. Let your buddy jump in it. He jump in that bitch and start turning it the fuck out, doing donuts and all kind of shit. Like he part of Dom Toretto's team, right? And then come park it back in front of your ass. Damn, that's a good car. That's what Sony is doing with Spider-Man right now, turning that shit the fuck out in front of Marvel's face, with them helping him a little bit. I keep telling y'all this, that Spider-Man, that last Spider-Man movie, yeah, it was good when they worked together, but Sony got the biggest bag off of that shit. Marvel got a sample. Sony ran away with the bag on that bitch. They put up the money and helped make it what the fuck it was. So Marvel got to feel real stupid because they making that Spider-Man franchise into the franchise, nigga. And they running Peter and Miles. They starting two as Peter and Miles as the point guards, nigga. What up, BMT? You like Ben? I like Ben too. Don't forget Ben is in there, but I remember Ben is just Peter. It's just another Peter. So I like Ben. For all you guys who don't read Spider-Man comic books, one of the characters named Ben Reilly was supposed to be the original Spider-Man who got cloned by the Jackal. And when he came back to clone Peter, this goes into that clone saga and maximum clone shit that I fucking hated. But understand this, there's clones of Peter Parker out there in our regular 616 universe, not that 1999 bullshit. Fuck you. In the regular 616 universe, there are a few clones of Peter Parker running around. One of them is Kane, one of them is Ben Reilly. Okay. The reason he took Ben Reilly is he took the name of his uncle, Uncle Ben, and Aunt May's maiden name. That's why he is Ben Reilly. He took that name to make his own way, to not be let the Peter that we know of that's there now be the Spider-Man and the Peter Parker. And he went off to do his own thing as Scarlet Spider or Ben Reilly. I like him too. He's cool. Little different, same face, just a little different. Okay. But that gets into some more convoluted ass shit with the clone saga and all that goofiness with them. I can't believe I ate that much food that fucking fast, dude. I don't think she gave me everything. So what else should I say? I'll put this out there just because the black manosphere, so people gonna want to know. Spider Woman is in this. When I saw the original trailer, I saw that they made Spider Woman black, and I want to know, like, is that supposed to be Spider Woman? Because she ain't black in the comic, and that version of Spider Woman is supposed to be a pregnant single mother. I hope they didn't make her black. They made her black, nigga. They made her black. Now, the switch to this, and BMT don't jump in here and start changing conversation and spoiling shit. The trick to this is that although they made her black and made her pregnant, she was not a single mother. She has a husband, but you never see the husband. She talks about him, but you never see him. But she is pregnant the whole fucking movie. And that stands in a stark contrast to another character where you get to see their whole happy family situation. Now, the other thing that's fucked up with that character, it is Spider Woman, but she's using her powers like Silk. If you don't know who Silk is, Silk is Cindy Moon. She's a newer character, maybe 10 years now. And she was bitten by the same spider that bit Peter. After that spider bit Peter, it also bit Cindy. And so her and Spider-Man have a special relationship where they're like mates. They're supposed to be like mates. Like they get close together, they want to fuck, which is funny as hell to me. Right? But Silk's powers work a little differently because she shoots silk webbing from her fingertips. So she can make costumes and stuff like that. I like Silk. She Asian, look like a little ninja girl, interesting power set. Cool. I like her. This Spider Woman in this movie, they mix Spider Woman from 616 and Silk together into one character. In a sense. I don't like that too much. Now, I like the visual of Spider Woman, but I liked it in the comic book too. With the motorcycle, the leather jacket, the red and the yellow and shit, it kind of worked. But one thing I noticed in this is they went heavy on throwing black women into this Spider-Man shit. They threw more black females into this shit than black men. There are no, outside of Miles, his daddy, and some other cameo characters, there ain't a lot of black men in this shit. But they made sure these spider people was black women. They threw a couple of them in there. At the expense of not having Jessica Drew's Spider Woman look the way she's supposed to look. Now, you could say she's from another dimension, so she could be black. That's the caveat there. She's from another dimension. She could be black. So it could not be the one given the Spider-Verse. It would not be the one that I know of from 616 universe. It wouldn't. It'd be one from a different universe. But she kind of looked the same. The trick of that is Jessica Drew's Spider-Woman did not get her powers the same way Peter Parker got his powers. She didn't. She got that shit from a machine that her father had created, trying to save her life. So she is tangentially a spider person. Even in the Spider-Verse comic, she's tangentially a character there. She just thrown in because her name start was fucking Spider. But she does not have the same story as any of the Peters or anybody. She doesn't. Neither does Silk. But if you got a show called Spider-Verse and you leave out Spider-Woman, it looks kind of funny. Okay? So that's the tricky part with that character being there. But they want to pull in another woman, I guess, so they pulled that one in there. She's in the Spider-Verse story. She in this shit. Yes. But I'm telling you guys that just so you know, one of these characters that's in there that's a black female, I don't remember seeing that character anywhere in there. Maybe they showed up in Spider-Geddon. Maybe they showed up in the Web Warrior shit. I don't think so. I'm not sure, but I can't say. BMT, I fucking said no spoilers. Bruh. It was. Look, man, I'm not fucking arguing with you about if it was a spoiler or not. It's the fucking spoiler. If you didn't see this shit in the commercial, it's a spoiler. Fuck. Half the motherfuckers in here ain't even read the comic. I'm getting the fuck out of here. It's 11 fucking 30 and I ain't got time for this shit. I'm tired and I gotta work a long day tomorrow. Look. Y'all are gonna have to learn how to let the content creator do their fucking show. It's all right if you know shit. It's cool. But mind the rules of the motherfucking road. Outside of Dr. Tia-san, maybe Ian, those are the only people I know seen the fucking movie. If I don't do spoiler talk, because I don't want to ruin the experience for other people, even though I know that means I don't want anybody spoiling shit, especially not in my chat. You know we cool, Trigger Man. I fucks with you. But I asked you, do not spoil anything. This ain't a race to see who can say everything they fucking know. That's what the Sunday show is for. But a reaction is a reaction. To just say, I saw it, this is some of what I saw, and this is what I think about it. This is what I feel about it. And this is what I think you might find interesting. It's not to start giving away shit. I've said it several fucking times that there's a lot of cameos in this. Mainly for the people I know have not read the goddamn comic book. Why? Because I don't want to spoil the fucking movie for them by telling them. I want them to have their own experience and do their own fucking homework about who some of these characters are. That's how you get more people to read the goddamn comic books. But if I wanted to sit in here and be the know-it-all nigga and just tell them every goddamn thing, they would never read the book. They probably wouldn't even go watch the fucking movie. Because I told them everything. There was no surprise for them. They'd sit down in the fucking movie and say, oh yeah, Artisan told me this was going to happen. All the way through. I don't like people doing that to me. I'm damn sure not going to do it to anybody else because I want their excitement, their surprise to be theirs, for them to own that. I don't want to take it from them. This is why I don't do spoilers. Because like somebody's virginity, you only have one time to have it. Once it's taken, it is gone. It does not come back. You cannot make believe what it felt like. Once that kernel of wonder is broken, it is never put back together again. So I try to preserve those moments for that person. That surprise is for them. That wonder, that amazement, that light going on, that interest is for them. It is not for me to take from them just because I fucking know. No, princess, you cannot be a reborn virgin. I don't care how long you go without sex and how much the little lips start to pucker up again. You are never a virgin again. You're just out of practice and need oiling. Now, all right. So, I apologize for yelling, but I told you, don't spoil it. Very simple. Very fucking simple. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get the fuck out of here. I've ended the day on a high note with advisory messages and not just talking about the movie. The movie is worth seeing. Um, and pay attention. You might miss some of the stuff. You might not know who some of these characters are. I think it should behoove you to find out who the fuck they are if you're interested. If you're not fucking interested, you'll sit there for 2 hours and some change and stare at the pretty fucking colors and then get up and leave and go on with your goddamn life. So I'm going inside. I'm gonna get my shit packed for tomorrow because I'm on call this weekend and I got my mother's birthday to go to Saturday. So yeah, like, share, subscribe. Support the stream if you feel so inclined. I've been artisanmc, and this was my reaction to Spider-Man Across the Spider-verse. Worth a watch. I suggest you go see it before somebody spoils any more of it for you.